And I wasn't even going to talk about that because for me, it's like I don't care if you're gay. I don't care about that. It's just situations that I walked into. I don't care nothing about that. What I do care
Okay,
about,
okay, okay. You
but,
see, you're gonna be mad at me because
but,
you see you know this stuff. You talking
right,
to a fresh audience that's
okay,
hearing from an assistant, and
okay,
the way you going over it is because you know it.
right,
But you got to think about take yourself a little bit outside. Now you done, it, and the people are like, hold the hell on.
yeah,
The
yeah,
people are like stunned right now, right?
right,
So, so Will Smith is bisexual. He has sex with men and women.
okay,
That's what you're
yes,
saying.
without question, without question.
Okay.
Fact, proven facts,
So
and
was
uh,
this
go ahead.
was this Philadelphia wheel or was this Hollywood creating and Jada creating a monster wheel that transpired?
Well, like I said, I can't in Philly. I don't know what he done, but I didn't think that he was it. So I don't want to speculate. I want everything to be about facts. So I can't speak to what he did in Philly. Now I know he ran through some bad joints in Philly. I can give him that. But when he came to LA, and I was working with him. Uh, he definitely was bisexual, and I shared some videos with you
Right.
prior to me even coming on, or I wouldn't even made that statement. So, all right, let me get it to you. Do we have a time for a 5 minute story? Because I want to get
Come
it to
on.
the people. Okay. So uh, then again, I get a call. Will call. I'm not working with Will at this point. He says, "Hey, I'm doing this TV show called All of Us. Me and Jada are producing. Right? I need you to come and hold me down on the show. I'm not going to be there a lot, right? Because I'm producing it, but I'll star on the show a few times." I got a call back saying he wasn't asking, meaning that he's telling you this is what you're gonna do. Okay, I come. So at the time he's saying, Bilal, since I'm not there, I need you to hold down Dwayne Martin for me. The on set. Make sure he's cool. Treat him like you would treat me. All right, Will. Once again, he think money gonna follow. I got you. Don't even worry about it. I got you. Now, what I come to find out at that point was Dre, he didn't have me there as a worker. At that point, Dwayne was messing around with Lisa Ray's husband. He had me there spying on Dwayne. And I was wondering why he would ask me to hold Dwayne down on a damn TV show. If it was a big major movie, I understand that. This is a little show or whatever was on the WB or whatever at the time, right? Why I got it? Because he called me, hey, what you and Dwayne do that night? Did y'all go here? Oh, who was with? I'm like, but now at the time, I don't know this. So Will end up coming to, and they had a some type of strained relationship at this point, Dwayne and Will. And so Will did an episode of All of Us. I think he played Lisa Ray's love interest. So once again, when Will's on set, everything has to go through me. So when they say, "Hey, we need Will in set in 5 minutes," they're gonna get in touch with me. We got to get them this information. They're gonna give it to me, and I'm gonna and then pass it on. So we broke for lunch, and I think his name was Mr. Mars, who was the first AD. They said, "Hey B, we need you to find Will because now Will's doing is has two hats. He's acting on the show that day, and he's still executive producer of the show. So they said we need him to come look at the scene before we shoot, and we need him to come in early from lunch." I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And I'm trying to find it. I'm running all around the set. So I said, "Nah, I hear some music in the Wayne joint." I said, "Well, let me just," and I got the key to the Wayne joint, because his dressing room, because I'm holding him down, right? Um, so I go and I open the door, and that's when I saw, like, Dwayne was having anal sex, within and Will. So I'm like, a deer
Was
with hair. Like when I opened
he
it,
was behind Will?
he was behind Will,
Hmm.
killing him, murdering. I never murder, right? So I open the door, and I'm like, Listen, Dre, I was like this, right? Then I said, oh shit. And then that's when boom, he come out, wheel up, and they was like, close the fucking door, close the fucking door. Man, listen. So I back out the door and I leave. Now here's the crazy part, right? So now after all that's over, the set is shut down. Will tells me he needs to have a conversation with me. This where it get real deep. So he was like, man, I know you saw what you saw. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. He was like, come on, B, you know what you saw. I said, I didn't see nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. So he said, I'm gonna need you to sign some papers. I said, Will, sign papers for what? I don't even know what you're talking about. Now he obviously sees that I've seen it. So he said, I really don't want you to get hurt. Right? I said, well, what does that mean? Right? So he goes to tell me, and now I'm gonna take this very slow, and then people can go and do the research. He said, "You remember when Eddie Murphy got caught with the transsexual on Santa Monica Boulevard?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you know what happened to her when she tried to write a book and she was going to do all these TV shows?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, go home and look it up." So that was one of the things. Now, I'll say I went home and looked it up, and that person was murdered. They said they tried to commit suicide or it was a crazy accident. Who was going to go to a roof, tie sheets together, and try to swing into the apartment?
Mm.
I left the country. I never signed those papers. And I know I'm not supposed to fear nobody but Allah. I could really say that time my hand was trembling when I went and reviewed the information that he's given me, right, to find it to be true. So anybody can go Google what I'm saying. If you don't believe me, just go on Google. And the context of all this will be there. So I say that to say it's a whole different playing field. And when I got back and how we got back, that's how we got back connected. It was Jada. Jada was trying to get me into Scientology, and I'll leave it there.
She was trying to do what?
Get me to become a Scientologist, and
Mm.
I'll leave that there.
Mm.
That is how she brought me and Will back together. But they were trying to get me to become a Scientologist.
Somebody says
So,
in the chat, we are not stunned. Somebody says everybody in LA knew that years ago. No, no, everybody assumed that.
yeah, so, yeah, yeah.
Everybody assumed that, and everybody didn't assume it. There are some that question it, that they're swingers, and that all this. The reason why this is significant because you are talking to a personal assistant of Will for around 7, 8 years, and somebody that was a friend of Will's for about 38 years. And that out of his mouth, from his own personal experiences, he is saying this is the reality, right? And whether people care or not, this is just what's coming out.